Hi, so today we're going to be doing some bread. We're going to start by doing the dough. I have already pre-made one so we can just get straight into it. So, all right, we're going to pop our scales on. I know this recipe off by heart, but this is the thermomix recipe that I've posted quite a few times. Anybody that's my customer, you will have a copy of this in your little plastic folder that you received from me at delivery. But here we go. So we're going to start with 360 of lukewarm water. I always use cold water from the tap and hot water from the kettle. Can I say 320? 360?
360.
Close enough. All right, so we're going to throw in our yeast. So we've got 2 teaspoons of yeast. 1, 2. 2 teaspoons of raw sugar. So this will help your yeast feed and make nice light fluffy bread. Okay, so you can put it on for a couple of minutes just to let that activate. If you've used lukewarm water, it's warm enough. Give it a few seconds and you'll see it start to bubble. It's a good way to check your yeast too if you're unsure whether it might be dead or not. If you've already overheated it to 37 degrees, it may kill your yeast. So warm hot days in Australia, it can happen and it can activate it and it will die before you use it. So always keep your yeast in the fridge or the freezer. Right, so that's activated. Okay, so then we're going to tear that. We're going to put our flour in. So we've got 620 of flour. Making a mess.
If you don't have baker's flour, do you just use plain and add?
I always use baker's flour, but you can use plain and add, I think it's 1/8 of corn flour.
Oh, corn flour.
See, baker's flour is like your plain flour, but it has a corn flour mixed through it. I don't know the exact measurements or weights or anything, but yeah. Oh, everybody say hi to Mary. Mary's my camerawoman for the day. All right, so we've got that in there. So then I'm going to add a little bit of bread improver. So this will make your bread nice and soft and fluffy. If you don't have bread improver, you can use apple cider vinegar, vitamin C powder. There's a few different things that you can substitute, but I use a soft bread improver. The no need one has no additives or preservatives in it. You can buy one, so the ones off the shelf at the supermarket, it does have extra nasties in there that you don't need. But I find the no need one, you can get it online, really good. It's a little bit more expensive, but it just really makes your bread fluffy. So we're going to add our teaspoon of salt in there as well. So I like my pink Himalayan. And then 25 to 30 grams of oil. Or about that. Always measure precisely. All right, pop the lid on. We're going to go 7 seconds on speed 7 just to mix it. And then we're going to knead it. So instead of wasting time kneading it in the kitchen, really wrecking your knuckles, we're going to go 6 minutes and off it goes. So the tip with this is don't walk away while it's kneading. If you do, pop it on the floor, use an extension cord. They do tend to go for a bit of a walk because there's such a big ball of dough in there. They'll roll around a little bit. I'm just going to do that out of the road though. I have pre-made some already. I'm just going to quickly show you a little tip about using the mats. So I find that if it doesn't stick to the bench, you're sliding around all over the place, it can make a little bit of a mess. So wet paper towel, just wet your bench down a little bit. Because your mat is silicone, it's going to stick to your bench. Perfect. So here's one I did earlier. So that's going to sit there for 15 minutes once it's done. I put it on for 1 rotation just to get it thrown off the blades. Twist it from the bottom on the blades. It will help it to release. And there's our dough. Got a little bit stuck in there still. To get it off, speed 8 is your cleaning buddy. So just going to pop it onto speed 8 for 1 second. And that's it. We might leave that for a bit. Okay, so speed 8 throws everything off the blades. All you need then is your spatula. And there's nothing stuck to the blades. Just scrape it out. There we go. Pretty much all of it out of there. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
All right, this is where a lot of people get lost, because if they don't knock the air out enough, you're going to have holes, you're going to have this is where I find people have the big holes in there or big pockets of air. You've really got to punch the air out of it. Bit less than an inch. If you can see any big lumps there, just knock them out, but that's perfect. Roll it up. Because the mat's stuck, it's not going to come with you. This is a little bit sticky, this dough. So this is a really good dough, I find. Stickier the better. Okay, so 2 sections we'll put into our bread tin. Get a little bit of a roll. Okay, mat didn't stick as well as it should. This is why I don't do things live. Okay, so you can shape it. If it's not as sticky, you can shape it a little bit better. But there's our rough. And that's all you need in the bottom of your tin. Now to make your bread rolls, probably just go with 4. I was quite generous with that, so just do 4. Now this does get a little bit, this you do have to practice. It's not going to be perfect the first time. I can try, it's a little bit sticky. So don't add extra flour to it, just flour your hands. And then just roll. Now if I can do it too slow, cup it in your hand. Still a little bit sticky. Yeah. Warm it up a little bit. All right. So yeah, just get the feel of it. I don't know if you can try and do this in slow motion, but you're just rolling it like that and you get your perfect little rolls. Same again. A little bit of flour. You're just rolling. You don't want to put too much pressure on, but you want to put a little bit of pressure on. So literally nice and slow, and you've got your perfect little rolls. So do that a few more times. You will get quicker at it. I can try and do it slower, but when you get used to it, doing it something like that, it's easier. So there's our perfect little round rolls. Pop them in the oven. So I usually pop them in the oven with a dish underneath with some boiling water. I leave that for about 40 to 45 minutes, and then I turn the oven on to 185 degrees, 25 minutes. The boiling water down the bottom gives it a nice coat. So it's like using a steam oven. So it will give it a nice crust as well. And at the same time, it just puts a nice temperature through the oven. You need the oven around 30, 35 degrees. Any hotter than that, it's going to start to slightly cook it and kill your yeast before it gets a chance to rise. So nice, slow and steady, slow and steady. If you've got any questions, please post them below. That was weird. Yeah, if you've got questions, post below and I will be answering them all throughout the day. We are going to be doing a few more videos, maybe doing a few more today, but not all today. I was going to hope to do a couple of rack ones, a sourdough, and if you've got any suggestions, please post them or let me know, email, message me. So I'm here to help you guys and help your thermomix journey. If there's anything else I can do, you know how to contact me. Thank you.